From an ancient version of the game to making floating lava blocks, here are 25 Minecraft things that feel illegal but aren't. You've heard of going above bedrock, but what about below it? In an older version of Minecraft, you could phase through the bottom layer of bedrock by placing a boat on the thinnest part of the water. Okay, this was a horrible idea, Dad! I wish I could unsee the flower textures forever. Mojang decided to curse my eyes by using 2D sprites for all potted plants and not making them 3D. This almost feels as wrong as mining diamonds with a stone pickaxe.
Where the f***'s the diamonds?
Being able to place floating lava should be a war crime. However, by using 7 slime blocks, 5 sticky pistons, 4 redstone blocks, and 4 obsidian, you can set up this machine that lets you place floating lava blocks. The best part is, this isn't even limited to lava. You can do the same thing with water. Rails are one of the best things Mojang added to the game, but we can make them even better by simply putting a trapdoor below them, which makes it so they can float in midair. Pair this up with a contraption like the one shown to get minecarts with infinite momentum, and you can quite literally have the most illegal railway in the game. You should always have a hoe that is enchanted with Fortune 3 when farming, which will allow you to quite literally triple the rate at which you can get food. For example, you can get up to 9 melon slices for each melon block farmed. This enchantment is so broken. Bone meal is one of the most important resources you need in order to get rich fast, and in the Cherry Grove biome, you can get a huge amount of it in just a few minutes. To do so, quickly harvest all the pink petals you see, or you can be even faster and use a water bucket and place the water like this to get a huge flow. Give me all those petals! But how exactly do you get lots of bone meal fast if you can't find a cherry blossom biome? One of the best supplies for this is the soul sand valleys in the nether. You should be breaking each bone block you see here since they give 9 bone meal apiece. Couple this up with the farming techniques I told you about, and you could dominate your entire server with the amount of food you'd have. Yeah, I'm starting to think I like food a bit too much. What if I told you that it's possible to have ladders without having any ladders? For some reason, Minecraft freaks out when it comes to scaffoldings and lets you jump on their edge. This means you can spam the spacebar and get all the way to the top super fast. However, this isn't limited to scaffoldings alone. You can do this with powdered snow too. And getting down is incredibly simple. Just hold crouch while you're on the edge. Bad idea. If you thought that it rains because of clouds, you're a noob. Above the first set of clouds you see is another set of clouds that you can't see. According to Notch, this gray area is actually where the rain actually comes from. What's even weirder is that the rain falls 1 block into the void layer. Yeah, this was definitely never meant to happen. I can't tell you the amount of times I've missed out on a shipwreck because of not being able to see through the damn ocean. However, this is easily fixable with a little bit of help. Back in 1.19, if you set your camera at just the right angle on the water surface, you could see through the entire ocean and find anything on the seabed. But Mallow, isn't this technically X-ray? What else did you expect, nerd? You will never believe where the sound design for gas came from. Everyone's favorite Minecraft songmaker, C418, had a cat that often made disturbed noises while it slept. But during the development phase, he thought that these noises would be the perfect tracks to use for the gas. No wonder they seem so disturbing. For years, Mojang has been fixing thousands of bugs, but there is one that is detrimental to the entire game. What is it, you might ask? Cookies don't have sugar in their crafting recipe! I would actually be better off eating cement laced with TNT gunpowder than cookies without sugar. Is that even a cookie at that point? For this one, I want you to look at the sun very closely. Hey, no, not in real life! Notch had some crazy ideas back in the day. From a red dragon to a sky dimension, there was one change that was so weird, no one could have guessed why it was even implemented. I'm talking about Notch's decision to make the sun round. In fact, he did exactly that for one beta pre-release. Weird decision for a game based on literal cubes. There is only one thing worse than a zombie with a weapon. A zombie with 2 weapons, or actually 2 pieces of armor in this case. Because of a bug in 1.8.9, all mobs that could wear armor began holding it in their hands instead. But the weirdest part is that they would only hold leggings and boots. Wait, so does that mean they don't have pants on? The skeleton just got a million times scarier. You've never paid attention to this, but there is something horribly wrong about buried treasure chests. For starters, they generate a chunk coordinates 9 on both the Z and X coordinates. However, the weirdest part is that you'll always find them facing towards the east. I'm never going to be able to unsee this. The next time you decide to use Riptide without an Elytra, you might want to think again. This is because full damage stacks up for all the time that you're in the air, meaning no matter how softly you land, you're going to be unaliving yourself in seconds. What's the most horrifying mob in the game? The Warden, Ender Dragon, or even Enderman? Nope, it's parrots. On the surface, they might seem innocent, but But in reality, they're beasts. For starters, parrots in Minecraft are coded to gather around every mob they see because Mojang thought it would be close to their real-life nature. Yeah, maybe Jeb should be surrounded by 1,000 dancing parrots and then decide whether that's fun. This is so creepy! Stop staring at me! You might already know that any items you throw on a cactus get destroyed immediately. However, there is one block that can even make the almighty cactus seem harmless, and that is snow. Snow will never get destroyed when placed next to a cactus. So if you're really afraid of cacti, you can use this trick to have a cactus force field. Villager noises are almost as big as Minecraft itself at this point. That's why you'd be surprised to know that until Java Edition 1.6.1, they made no noises at all. Trying to imagine a silent villager is almost as bad as imagining a white Enderman. That's racist. Night vision is one of the most useful enchantments in the game, but use this incorrectly and you'll be getting yourself into a fever dream. Oddly enough, looking at the horizon with this effect active makes it so that the entire sky flashes with different colors. Would you believe me if I told you Minecraft came out 17 years before its release in 2011? I'm talking about Minecraft 3D that was released April 1st, 1994. If you haven't figured it out already, this was an April Fool's joke by Mojang, but I have to say, it looks amazing! Did you know it's possible to burn yourself to death underwater? I don't know why you'd want to do this, but just place a cauldron filled with lava and sit inside.
Mallow, how did you even find out about this?
Hey, listen here. Stop asking so many questions. Nether stars are incredibly important for crafting beacons, but there's something about these objects that you never knew. These are in fact explosion-proof, and this makes sense because they need to survive the wither's death. But that's not the best part. They are still not immune to lava, cacti, and anvils. Wait, hold up! A nether star can survive TNT, but not my diamonds? Minecraft has had a massive run of bugs and items that should never have existed. But there was one that was far more insane than anything you'll ever see. In one of the earliest alphas in 2010, pressing F4 would allow you to spawn in nether portals. What was Mojang even thinking? Did you know you can make TNT blocks freak out completely? By placing an anvil on top of TNT before lighting it up, you can make it do 0 damage. You can do this for massive amounts of TNT and give your friends a heart attack. Or if you want TNT to explode underwater, place a block of sand above it and then light it up. And you might be wondering how this works. Well, you'd be surprised to know I don't know either. One of the most hyped features for the game was the sky dimension that Notch wanted to add during early development. But unfortunately, this never happened. However, there was something similar in its very first year of launch. In the in-depth version, you could set your map type to floating island. This was similar to the buffet world types we've seen recently, and the entire surface used to be covered with bedrock. Yeah, we definitely need this back. We all know that spiders can scale walls like it's nothing, but why exactly can they do it? Well, Mojang decided they wanted to be realistic and purposefully coded spiders to treat the side of any block they collide with like a ladder. This does make building spider farms much harder, but I wonder if I can use slabs instead. Ah, no! Horrible idea! Subscribe before they get me!